Okay, let's get into some post-flop play. Readless against the reg, I would still recommend a high c-betting strategy, but have a checking behind range on good check raising boards, and also use T30 as your c-bet sizing unless it's not a good barreling board. Then I would recommend to use half pot. The reason why I still use a high c-betting strategy against most regs is that they're still too tight against the strategy, meaning even if they check raise 30-35% and flat 30%, they're still folding 35 to 40% against our c-bets. But if we use 30 as our c-bet sizing, we only need 27% and fold equity, and that doesn't include any barreling situation. Of course, if you play against a good opponent with good ranges, then lowering your c-bet percentage to like 60 or 50% is a very good idea. Also, readless, I lower my c-bet percentage with decreasing stacks. That is because flatting ranges are getting stronger, and also there's no real need to c-bet that much anymore because we can get all in with two streets. So just when we check behind the flop, we can bet the turn like 3/4 pot and jam the river. So there's no real need to c-bet that much anymore. Then I would recommend to use a low check raising strategy. That is because a lot of regs are barreling pretty wide in today's games, meaning if there's a good barreling board, they just barrel any two with no regard to the hand. Also, we can do pretty cool stuff on the turn with that. So we could donk in certain spots. We could check call, check raise against an opponent who's double barreling a lot, but not triple barreling a lot. So yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty good idea to use a low check raising strategy. Then have a donking range on very draw heavy boards. So a board like check 10-8 with a flush draw possible gets checked behind pretty frequently, which you don't want with most of your range. So I would recommend donking those boards even readless. And if your opponent is c-betting only like 60%, then you should, of course, donk even more boards. And the last point is give turn and river check raises a good amount of credit. This is because I find that most people's ranges in this spot are still unbalanced, meaning they're still weighted towards value too much. So you should be able to make a good amount of folds in those spots.